Hi everyone, my name is Emily Bowen. I am going to be talking to you guys about writing effective email subject lines for different types of messages. So we all know what an email is, but emails are the most common form of business communication, and employees send and receive over 100 emails per day. It's the easiest way to get in contact with someone without having to talk to them right away with a phone call. Subject lines are the lines in the very top that pop up on your email in your inbox. It tells the readers why they should read the email. It aids in filing and retrieving the documents that's in there, and it provides framework for what you're about to say. What makes a great subject line? Subject lines need to be specific enough to differentiate its message from others. So a good example is handy travel tips from the Hotel ABC. The bad example is Hotel ABC September newsletter. This is a bad example because you don't actually know what's going to be in the email, so you're not really wanting to open it because you don't really care what's in it. You also need to make subject lines concise and be specific and short. In this other picture, 47% of email recipients decide to open your email based on the subject line, and 69% of people report email as spam based solely on the subject line. Meaning, if your subject line is crazy and out there and it looks like it's a scam, most people aren't going to open it. Pointers for subject lines. Put important information in the subject line, put good news in the subject line, and name drop to make a connection. All these pointers is for people to want to open the email that you are sending them. There's 12 subject line tweaks to improve email open rates. Cut it down, take out anything spammy, ask a question, include a deadline, try a teaser, give a command, add a list, make an announcement, be unique, tell a joke, say something unexpected, and use multimedia. All these are tips to make sure people are opening your email. If you're sending out emails and people aren't opening, then they're not going to know what exactly needs to be sent out to other people. It is very important that if your information is headline news and every single person needs to know it right away, you need to make sure your subject line shows that so people make sure they click on that email and not just let it go down and down further into their inbox and then they never see it again. Also, do not use dates like today, tomorrow, next week, because later when they look at their inbox tomorrow, they don't know what day that email was actually for, because next week, if they open it next week, they don't know which next week it is. They need to actually know what date you're talking about. Also, when replying to an email, make sure the subject line is still appropriate. This means if you are talking about a different subject in that same email, then you might want to change the email subject so that it corresponds to what you are actually talking about. I know when talking to my father about emails, he is a manager for the distribution center for Dillard's, and they have over like 8 or 9 distributions. Whenever he sends out an email, he always puts the distribution number in that email so that when other people get the email, they know what location they are talking about. We also have another example with classes. All of our professors want to know the class ID in the email so that when they're reading their email, they know exactly what class you're talking about so they can answer your email effectively. Overall, subject lines are very important. If you don't have a good subject line, people aren't going to want to read your email and they're just going to either delete it or just leave it in their inbox and never open it. And that is not good if you actually need your customer or client or employee to answer and open the email. That is very important for your future. So make sure you put a good subject line, and if it's an actual date that you need, make sure you put that date in the subject line so they know what date in the future. They can just look at the subject line and they won't have to go look in the email. They can just see it on the subject line. Thanks so much. Hope everyone's staying safe.